Fala galera do Maboy, sejam bem-vindos. Estou aqui com a Nausicaa hoje, fazendo essa chamada especial para você, esse bate-papo especial. A gente vai falar não só sobre a trajetória dela, vamos falar também sobre como foram os jogos, né, a carreira de embaixadora. Enfim, o nosso objetivo é que você a conheça um pouquinho melhor, que você conheça um pouquinho mais de flag football e fica aí o meu convite para curtir essa chamada com a gente. Nausicaa, welcome. It's a pleasure having you here.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. For the listeners, that's the second time I try to do this. The first one, we couldn't follow through. I didn't press the record button the first time, and then our internet was bad. We had a bad connection. Nausicaa was in vacation, and we decided to do that next week. So here we are. So you're back in Italy now?
Yeah, I'm back in Italy. I'm still on vacation, but in a place where better Wi-Fi.
That's great. Do you I don't know if you're like me, but I always need a vacation from a vacation, and I have kids, and when I when I travel with the kids, it's so out of routine that I get back and I wish a little more vacation. Are you the same way? Are you enjoying?
Yeah, this is my vacation from the vacation. So I was in Greece and then I came back here for some, time at the beach where I basically grew up as a kid. During every summer, I was here in Turcheo. It's one of the places that Americans still don't know about Italy. So we're gonna keep it this way, guys. Don't come here. But just kidding, obviously. But yeah, so I'm resting before the madness because everything starts over. Nothing really stops.
Yeah,
But it's always fun. So this is my rest time.
good for you. Now, Zika, yesterday we were hit by an amazing news. Easy became the ambassador for the new league promoted in partnership with the NFL. How much do you know about this league, and how much do you think that's going to impact the flag community overall?
So I'm so happy for Easy. First of all, she's a great ambassador for tomorrow's sports and for this incredible league that it's coming together. Easy is a terrific player, a really nice person. So I'm excited for her to represent the future of flag in this league. Even Vanita Crouch is already an ambassador for them, and Ashley Clem as well. At the World Championships, there was a athletes lounge that was completely sponsored by Tomorrow Sports, and it was really, really cool. I had the chance with IFAF to do some content in there, and there were recovery boots and trainers and a lot of drinks or props you could do photos with. It was really, really cool, and you could try the new football that's designed for flag with Vanita. So it was really cool to be able to hang out there, and we talked a little bit about the league. There also was a QR code there for athletes to register, and I think that it's also a way for Tomorrow Sports to get a database of the best players around the world. It's a great place to do it at the World Championships, of course. And yeah, so I don't know much about the league. I know many people are involved, like Billie Jean King and Serena Williams and Tom Brady and all these investors. I know it's going to be a legit league with a legit season, and I know that a lot of NFL teams will be involved as well in terms of like funding. But I don't know nothing much more than that. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a big surprise. I think it's going to be really cool, and they will involve a lot of players. I know that Vanita joined their players council, or she's going to be head of players relations or something. So I'm pretty sure they're in good hands in terms of like something built by the players for the players. But I can't say that for sure. I only say what I wish for this league, which is a league that it's designed for the players, where players can actually get paid to play and get also some revenue from what the league will look like. So not only being playing, but also have some ownership of the league. That would be cool. And all I wish for this league could be something permanent, something that lasts, not something that is like a flame and, just uses the momentum. I want it to be something that lasts really long. So, but I'm pretty sure they're in good hands since they have all these people involved. I'm also sure that it's not going to be the only league or the only tournament format. So there might be other leagues that will be pro, but in a different way. Like instead of having a season, it will be tournaments or, different formats. I think it's not the first one. I think it's not going to be the last one, but I think it sets, a standard and it sets a pace for the rest of the world to be aware that women deserve to be paid and compensated for playing, because the Olympics can't be the only Northern Star that these girls have. Some girls get to access the Olympics, and they will be playing, and it will be 6 teams with 10 or maybe more players, we don't know yet, on the roster. But all the other girls, they have to be able to compete like in college and middle school and high school, and then after college do something with what they built. Instead, I think that right now, for example, in the US, if the girls can't play in college because they don't get a scholarship and they get a scholarship for soccer, they will go play for soccer. So this adds a layer to the professionalism and the fact that there's a future for girls that want to play flag, not only in the US, but in the world. So hopefully this league also features a lot of international players as well, because I don't know how that's going to work, but I hope that they also feature other players.
Absolutely, and the
But I'm
beauty
pretty
of
sure they will, because they did that QR code thing, so they want to know what's out there.
yeah, for sure. And the beauty of flag football is that, like you said, hopefully it won't be the only league. And because it's so logistically easy, we can have many flag championships and opportunities for athletes and coaches to be paid to do that. Like I remember when we first tried to make this call, you said that a couple of players from Italy men's team, they used to have other jobs, right? So they were there, the biggest stage representing their countries, but once the lights are out, they still have to go back and perform at their job. So it's hard to be an elite athlete like this, or to be at least sustainable, right? So hopefully I agree with you, there will be a more than one league. Shifting gears a little bit, I'm very, very curious about your career. And just yesterday I was having a conversation with Gabi Bunk. You do
Yeah.
know? Do you know her? Yeah.
Yeah, I know
So
Gabby, yeah.
yeah. So I was having she's Brazilian. I'm Brazilian. So we were having this amazing conversation with her, and I asked her how she manages the multiple roles that she has. She's an ambassador.
It's
She's a
tough.
player. So I would like to ask you the same. Kind of walk me through a little bit of what you are today and what you represent. You're an ambassador, you're a player and all that. Walk me through your roles and what do they represent for me and for the listeners.
So I met properly Gabby at the Super Bowl this year. She was amazing player, super nice person, and great content creator too. Like we had a blast at Super Bowl, and like her, like I know she has many responsibilities and she wears many hats. So I totally understand her. I think we as NFL flag ambassadors, we've been blessed with a lot of opportunities, but we also put in the work before. We were named ambassadors, and that work is still going on. As athletes, as members of our federations, I wear many hats personally. I'm in the board of FIDAF, which is my federation, the Italian Federation of American Football. But I also am in the athletes committee board of the Olympics, like in Italy, the Olympic Committee in Italy. And I work with IFAF sometimes to be a content creator, and other things. And then I have an agency of my own, that that's called Open Field Advisory. And we work with NFL teams and NFL athletes to make their personal brands bigger in Europe and make the NFL bigger in Europe. So I do a lot of work with them. And before that, I was with DAZN, and I still work with DAZN as a freelance. And I'm an athlete and all that stuff. So it's really tough to put everything together. Sometimes I need like 48 hours days. And managing to finish everything is really, really tough, but you just do it. You make time for it. Especially for being an athlete. Like I work out a lot. I go to a strength and conditioning coach because I think it's better when you have a coach that really trains you so you can keep track of things and always be at your best. And I work with Ultra, which is a big brand in Italy for strength and conditioning. So they're big in football, they're big in athletics and track and field. So it's tough, man. It's tough. The pressure is crazy. But at the end of the day, like, it's the sport we love. So we love for this. We live for this. We love this. It's been my dream to be able to bring this sport at a higher level since I was a kid. Even when they ask me, like, what's your dream? Like, of course, it's to compete in the Olympics, but even just being able to contribute to the sport being in the Olympics, or to just Italy women being able to attend, that's the goal. Like, that's how you open doors for others. That has always been my thing. I think my mom named me Nausicaa because it means the one who burns the ships. Because I've always wanted to burn everything and just start the path over. And that's what I did in football. Like in Italy, there was no tackle football. There's so many girls like me that fought like me just to have it. And then it was flag. And then it was bringing flag to the Olympics. I burned all the ships to create a new path for other people. And I think me and other 1,000 women out there, even more, do that because we love it. And sometimes it's hard to be the best athlete, the best representative, the best sister, or the best daughter, or everything. It's hard, right? But you just keep up with it because you still fight for the girl that didn't have any of this. So at the end of the day, it's tough, but everything is tough. Like if you in life you wait for the moment in which everything is relaxed, you will wait forever because it's impossible. Everything happens together. There's no right time. It's just you have to like tame the waves and keep surfing, you know.
Absolutely. I think I read through the article and or your interview at the Olympics channel, and you talked about legacy by the end of the interview. That your main goal, obviously, is playing the Olympics, but the ultimate goal is to pave the way for younger athletes, and I love that. And if you look at your career and the hats that you wear today, they're all of them are going towards that goal, and that's what I think it's beautiful about your career. I'm very curious about what is the responsibility, or what's in the job description of being an ambassador for the NFL or flag. What are some of the things that you have to do and promote to make that happen? Do they actually give you a job description? Do they tell you what to do, or is it something more
Okay, so
self-driven?
let me tell you about this. So the NFL has given us this hat of being NFL flag ambassadors because we were already doing camps for kids for free, promoting the sport, being voices over the sport, telling stories of other people and our stories to get the people in the game. So there's no money in this. This is just a title that the NFL has given us because we've been doing this forever, for 16 years. And because maybe if you're an NFL flag ambassador and you're trying to find a sponsor for the small team around the corner or your camp or your federation, you might have more chances to do it. I think that's one of the reasons, like to recognize our work and also to elevate our presence just in a way that can help other people. And then sometimes we have duties from the NFL. They involve us in many tournaments. Again, we don't get money from this. Like, we just give our time to go to Indiana at the flag football championships of the kids and just hang out with the kids and talk to them and just discover their world and understand how we can help them more, how we can inspire them, how we can be of any help. So it's nothing glamorous. It might look like that when we're on the honors red carpet, but trust me, like my first honors, I was there because I was a plus one of somebody that was sick. Like somebody was sick, and so I got into into their place. I went to Zara. I bought a dress randomly 2 hours before, not even like an hour before. I ran into this place in an Uber. The Uber lady gave me her makeup to put makeup on, and then I went there and I went in the media room where I had access. I threw everything there. I didn't know if like I had a backpack and stuff. And I was like, maybe I will never find my stuff again, but I will just go to this event. And then I went to the bathroom and I was like, okay, my underwear really looks bad with this dress. So I threw my underwear in that bathroom. Like, that's how glamorous it is. And if you saw a little bit of glimmer in my face, it wasn't makeup. It was sweat because I was trying to get to the
I'm cracking out
so,
over here.
so that's literally like what you see on Instagram. Don't believe what you see, because now the NFL has done a way better job too. Like, they involve us in many things and we're so blessed, and they invite us, and like they hosted us and did so much for us. So I'm super grateful to them, because some of us saw Super Bowl for the first time because they made that happen, and they really like are so grateful for our job that we do every day. So, but don't believe that we got handed a crown and okay, go. Like, no, that's like we work so hard for this. I don't get any money for the work that I do for the federation. I just find sponsors, find stuff. The Oakley sponsorship this year was because I connected with Kenny from the Spanish team, and he connected me with the Oakley people, and then we connected. And it's also thanks to these people like that are in this business and try to help each other. Like when you see the pictures with me and Phoebe and Rebecca and Cody and Mona and Diana, and everybody smiling. We're not just like standing there. We have this sisterhood. Um, like, we help each other a lot. If anybody needs a place to stay in an event, we just lean on each other. You know, now the NFL is doing such a better job because they have dedicated people that can actually help us. But before, it was like bunk beds and just come to my room and let's go to the Super Bowl together and be crazy. And, you know, and it's amazing because thanks to this ambassadorship program, we have this sisterhood. I can go anywhere in the world where these people are, and I know I have a bed and a place to stay, and I know that they're going to help me with anything I need. So, you know, that's the main resource and main treasure that I found with the Global Ambassador Program. Sisterhood and sisters you can count on, even if you don't play on the same team. So yeah, I think they're doing a better job every year because it's a program that, you know, you launch it and then you discover what people need. Like flag football, such a new sport, like you don't even know, right? So it's growing with us, but I think they're doing a good job. And in general, like, our description is to serve the game, man. Our job description is to serve the game of football every single day. And when you get out of that house, you have to know what you represent, because you don't only represent yourself anymore, you represent your federation, you represent your country, you represent the NFL, you represent IFAF. And in the eyes of the Olympics, the future Olympics, the kids, the next generation, you are an example and a role model, and you have to know it when you get out of your house. So I feel like there's no job description itself. The job description is just serve the game, love the game, help each other, and lift each other up. They didn't choose us for a random reason. They chose us because they saw how much work we did. And it comes with a lot of people being like, why her? And she's just pretty. And, they handed her things. Like I heard some people say, like, about Diana, oh, she's so selfish. Oh, like they gave her a platform and, she's a marketing product. She's not. She talks about football, serves football, thinks about football, works on football more than you will ever know. But it's the choice of
And
these
much
people to be
longer
like,
before the title, right? Much
yeah,
longer. I've heard
but
of her
much
for a
longer.
long time.
You will
Yeah.
never know. So these people decide to see things like this. We can do anything to change their minds, and we don't really care. We have so much work to do that we don't need that. But it happens. And I've seen this happen for so many girls out there. Like, oh, you're the ambassador, and like suddenly even your country doesn't like you anymore. They're not trying to push us. We just work a lot. A lot. I've sat through so many meetings with my federation until 2, 3 a.m. Everybody there just working for the cause, spending money, just traveling everywhere to just help. Like, people will never know how much work it takes with a 9 to 5 job, because I have a 9 to 5 job. I'm not a millionaire, and we have to be athletes, and we have to always like be there. So people will never understand. The people that don't want to understand, I will let them in their ignorance. But just know that if you see so many people, and if it happened to you maybe one time, even if you're a good person, to think like, oh, why not me? You can be an ambassador if you want to. Just put up your sleeves and work. You can be whoever you want to. Like, and also, like, it's not that if Diana Flores exists or Phoebe exists, you cannot exist in this space. Everybody is different. Everybody brings something good to the table. Everybody brings something different. So it's important to lift each other up and not be a jealous weirdo. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't help anybody, especially in a sport that is growing, but is still niche right now. If we start with the war of the poors in Italy, we say the war between poor people. No, we are poor people. Just build up together. Don't make wars. So I think it's very important, because I am sure Gabby's going through this. Everybody's going through this. Everybody. At least once in your life. And you're like, me? For real? So just know that these people are in these positions because they worked so hard. And it's nothing like it's not like, our lives changed. We are just people that work for the game, and we just have a title for it now. But we're still doing our jobs. We are not paid for it. We are just giving. We are natural givers in this game.
I love the fact that you said that, because actually, I love the fact that you went through all this, because there's a misconception when you're a public figure in an amateur sport, which flag football still is, right? I've been doing this in Brazil for 20 years, and it's an amateur sport. And right now I have the benefit of living only for coaching, and I get what you're saying. People are like, how do you do that? I mean, I've worked for 20 years to grow the game when YouTube was not even a thing. We had to connect to people and talk to people and try to learn as much as we could with the zero structure. So I love the fact that not only you put this out for the listeners, but also the fact that the title became because you were doing something. and not because you had the title and now you're doing something. So I appreciate your honesty and sharing that with the community. And I wanted to shift the gears here a little bit, and I wanted to ask you about the games, right, that just happened at Dusseldorf. What was the Italian? Obviously, Italy had an amazing performance. I was very excited to watch the men's perform. That was amazing. They've done something that Europeans never done before in the sport, which is amazing to get an Olympic credential. So walk us through both teams, Italian teams, going expectations and preparation heading to the games in the past couple of years after Finland, for instance.
So great question. We've been preparing for this moment for a long time, but especially in the men's team, like with the women's team, we had problems in the past because the coaching staff has always changed. It's hard to coach women. It's hard. Not because we are a pain in the ass, because we're not. It's just different. Like you have to be a person that understands feelings. Like my coach in the US used to say, like when you ask to a man to go through a wall, he will go through the wall. If you ask it to a woman, she will ask you why before she does it. Then she does it better than the man. Like that's exactly what it is. We need to know why it's different. And whoever tells you it's not like that lies. Like it's different. So I think that until maybe, this year, we didn't find the perfect combination of people coaching the girls. And then it has been tough also because we didn't have many resources and the movement itself was smaller before. But since 2021, we had a growth. Like we became 8th in the world. So for us, it was a lot because for a country like Italy with no resources and not a lot of players, that was something for us, So I think we're doing a great job. Just we had a growth that is smaller than the men also because we didn't have double passports and stuff like that, which changes the game a lot, if you think about it in terms of experiences. So with the women, we're still working. It's a work in progress, but we were expecting to be good, to do good games like the one with Mexico that was very, very close and they almost beat Mexico, like stuff like that. But it's still in the works and we know it's in the works. We didn't expect to win the World Championships because we know what our level is and we're slowly going up, But it's a growth. We never started at top and went down, which happened to other nations in women's. We are going up every year a little bit more. For the guys, so many things happen, but what you have to know is that a lot of tackle players in Italy go into flag, and differently from girls, which is almost always flag, these players, we've been losing them some seasons because they were playing tackle football and pro tackle football in Europe. So for example, at the Euros, not the last ones, but the ones before, we didn't have any double passports there, for example. And the level was different, to be very honest with you. But then, the federation decided to do, after the Euro Championships, something that was never done before. So they won the Euro Championships last year, the men, Italy men. And for that, the Olympic Committee in Italy, CONI, gave them a significant contribution. And with that contribution, the federation could have done many things. For example, buy sweaters and buy gloves or buy an ice machine. But they decided to pay the players for 1 year or 8 months and see what happened. And it was a huge gamble. Like even in the board, it was kind of crazy, right? Because it was a significant contribution, but not that big. Okay, not that big of a deal. And we had the chance to make a difference. And we decided to try because we had good chances for the guys to qualify. If we had paid the women this year for this moment, they still wouldn't have qualified because we're still not there yet. And it's fine. It's not a matter of sexes. It's a matter of level. Okay. And this year that the qualification happened, believe me that all the money is going to the girls now. And you will see what happens next year at the Euros. That's all I'm saying. Like, we are very careful, but we do the things right. So we gambled, we did this, and it was pretty crazy, guys, because they played and they were paid to play. So they had to go to a lot of training camps. They still paid for their travel to training camp, but they were paid to be there. They practiced for many months and like once or twice a month. So it was way more than they used to practice. They went to many tournaments in Europe, participate to lots of tournaments, 4 or 5, something like that. Not too many, but it was significant. And also they did a tournament in Italy with other international players. And what happened is that they lost many times in these tournaments. Lots of people said, oh, you're spending all this money for these players, money that they earned because they won the Euros. So it's how it works. Like the Olympic Committee gives you money if you win, not if you lose. It's just a matter of winning. And everybody said it doesn't work. It's stupid. In order to get the money, they had to renounce to tackle for 8 months and some people didn't join that program. Like, for example, Lazzaretto, which is one of our best players that last year at the Euros intercepted that incredible football against Austria and won the game basically with that interception. He didn't want to say no to tackle, for example. And it was a choice and it was fine. Like, he ended up hurting his hand, but that's not the reason he wasn't on the team eventually. So it's choices that you make, right? It's okay. Like, we respect all the choices. But some of the players made that choice and they were like, okay, we're not going to play tackle. We're not going to hurt ourselves. We're just going to commit to flag all year long and we're going to be flag players. And they lost so many tournaments. Even the one at home, like, they lost. Everybody was like, okay, like, we don't know about this, people. No, actually, the one at home they won, sorry. They lost other tournaments. But, the feeling was that they were so close and what is happening, whatever. So everybody was expecting for them not to qualify, to be very honest with you. Like, a lot of people were like, it's a good project, but we're not there yet, right? And then they get there. And first of all, we almost didn't get there because our flight was canceled because in that stupid airport of Düsseldorf, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this, but it's true. You can't get in the airport after 10 p.m. because the residents will complain. Like, what country does that? I don't know. But so our flight was canceled and we had to like wait and imagine finding another flight for 45 people in 20 minutes. For the next day. It was insane. So I had to do that with all the staff, of course. And it was an insane experience, but we got there. So everything started on the wrong foot. First game against Great Britain, like, it doesn't go well. Like, the guys just don't seem to work, but they always don't seem to work on the first game. So we were like, okay, it's usual for them. And then they start building from that and we see them become these monsters. And they killed it. Like, they were so good. And then we arrive at the game against Germany and we're there in 20 people versus 100 of German fans. So it was tough for us to like get heard from the guys, but we had a chant for every player. So, like, for example, for Volonino, it was volare, oh, Volonino, oh, nel blu, dipinto di blu. And everybody was singing and we were so organized for being Italians. It was crazy. And there was this German player that scored or something, and he did this to us. We were on fire after that. We were like, "What? You're doing this
messing with the wrong people."
With the wrong people, and it didn't pay off. And then they won. Obviously, Germany was very much in trouble because their quarterback Benjamin Clever, who's a great quarterback, and everybody respects him. He got injured like on one of the first drives of the tournament and injured his ACL. Like it was tough, to be very honest with you. And when Riccardo Petrilli got that interception and ran into the end zone, he couldn't be stopped because Benjamin Clever was just staring at him because he couldn't move. So we were also blessed by some circumstances, to be very honest with you, which happens to everyone. There's a
You're fine.
okay.
We'll be fine. It's
And
all good.
and yeah, so the game got really amazing. We beat France, which was very important because Italy and France hate each other, not in the team because we are friends, but in the history. Like we have this rivalry, we will always have it. We beat France, we beat Germany. And then, it gets even more interesting because then they have Panama and you're like, oh, they're super good. Like what happened? Then I don't remember if this is correct or not. So excuse me if it is, but I believe that if American Samoa didn't beat the US, we would probably have ended up with US instead of Canada in the semifinal.
Oh, I see the crossing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even sure about this because some people told me that it's not true. Some people told me it's true. I don't know, but I heard this and I was like, oh my God, like American Samoa came through and won against US. I'm not even sure because they got beat by Israel too. So very complicated. So I'm not even sure. But we were blessed by some circumstances. I will say that. And then we get to the game against Canada. And it's crazy because it's Canada. Like Canada is like the US for us. Like we've seen them compete against the US and it was this close so many times, right? So we were like, okay, like if we beat them, we're in the Olympics. That's insane, right? And so the game starts and we score and they score and we score and they score. And there's this NFL tight end that scores in the face of one of our athletes, Daniela Torraca, who's super young and super nice, but he's smaller than this guy. And this guy was like too small, right? So we're like, okay. And we were like, well, he's huge. So that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like that makes sense. They score, but then we get some stops, and then Andrea Fantin makes that game-winning interception. Mind you, before that interception, something even crazier happened. So the entire tournament, Claudio Corrado, who's the sixth person in the offense and defense, like he's the jolly that we could have used, we never used him. He never went onto the field, never. And he was like, I talked to the guy and he was like, I know it's for my team, so I will sit here and give you water rather than be home. Like I would clean your shoes if I had to. Like he's a real one. This guy is a construction worker. But it's still tough when you can't play and you're just there and you know that your moment could be anytime, but you also don't want your moment to be there because it means somebody else gets hurt, right? So you're just standing there and it's tough for people. But we would always chant for him that he was a secret weapon. Corrado è l'arma segreta, arma segreta. And we were like joking about that, but we weren't joking because at some point he gets in, the quarterback throws the ball a little higher, and they always talk about this, Corrado and Fantin. They always say like, I put it up, you catch it. That's their thing. Like, io la alzo, tu la prendi. And so basically, he does that. He gets in, just does this with his arms, and just the ball goes a little bit higher, a little bit. Andres in the right place at the right time, gets the ball and scores, which was crazy because he told me the day before, like, if I get an interception, I dedicate it to you because we spent all the nights like with the physio and with the guys just talking at night just to like eliminate the stress, and doing like the pressotherapy together and just talk. And he told me that. And then he got a pick six. I'm like, you did a pick six, like not even an interception. Like that was crazy. Like he's an interception guy too. Like he doesn't do a lot of pick sixes all the time. So that was insane because that moment with the clock running, we knew that this guy brought us to the Olympics. And nobody believed that it was him because he's a teased guy. Like he they cut his hair like super short because it was like how do you say, like a bet between the players. So they shaved his head basically, but it was a bet. He said, if I get in the team, I will shave my head. And he has like really nice curls and stuff. And he didn't even know his head was like shaped in a weird way too. So it was kind of crazy. Like the guy put everything on the line, his hair on the line, and you realize he has a egg-shaped head and all that stuff for this team. He gets the interception, gets us to the Olympics because we managed the clock really well. And I think we also scored. And then we were in the Olympics, and that was insane because we beat Canada, we beat an NFL tight end. I think Henry Blackburn is also like a still active player in the NFL, but he's much normal looking than like this huge person that was the NFL tight end. But it was crazy to us, and the president was there, our federation. He's an old man, but he always stays with us in the calls until 2 a.m. So he never quits. He was there with his cigar, and it was insane. Like everybody went crazy because it was a moment that they were looking for all their lives. Like Riccardo Petrilli has been in the team forever, for as long as I can remember. He was on the team, and he's a homegrown player. Andrea Fantini is a homegrown player. He's from Rome. Claudio Corrado, and he worked in a pizzeria 3 months ago. He was showing Henry Blackburn, one of our players, his highlights, and he was showing him his highlights in the pizzeria, you know? So it's incredible to see these players that have worked so hard for this. I think the NFL was also very surprised. They shared a lot of images because we are so dramatic as Italians. We're like Brazilians a little bit. We're heart people. Like I know some people from IFAF, they're French people. Like they talked to me and they were like, I was crying for you guys because you were so happy that it was contagious. And I remember the night before I was at the broadcast meeting with the NFL because I did some interviews at the gold medal game. And so I was supposed to be at this meeting, and they were like not giving Italy one chance. They were like, Germany versus Italy, Germany is winning for sure. And I was like, no, they're not. Maybe you don't understand. Maybe you don't understand. And they were like, well, yeah, but even if they win, like they will never win, right? And I was like, well, shut up. And then they won, and it was crazy. And I pointed at the booth at Ashley Docking that was there commenting the game. She's great. But I was like, I told you. It was an insane moment. I didn't even record myself a lot of things because I wanted to live those things, which is not like me. Like I'm always recording, but you need to, like for the Italian games, sometimes I get too emotional to record. I'm like, I can't even hold my phone still. Like I have to scream. I have to make them feel like we are there for them. So it was pretty insane, but it happened, and these guys made it happen, and they had to sit through so many critics for so many people the entire year being like, this program will never be like real and it will never work and you're just wasting money. And then they deserved all of it. They deserved all of it. Even the coaches, to be very honest with you, they got through a lot the past years, and they really deserved that moment. So we're very happy with them, and we'll definitely reconfirm all the stuff for the next year. But it's really amazing, and it's a dream come true for our federation. It will change the sport in our country because it will change. You know, like many years ago, we had to sit in front of this guy from the police because in Italy, when you are a professional athlete and the public government pays you to be a professional athlete, you have to join an army. Not for real, like you're not going in the street and be a policeman, no? But at some point in your life, you might be a policeman or you might work for them a little bit. And in exchange, you can be an athlete and just train. Okay, that's how it works. It's weird. If you talk to me, it's weird. But that's how it's always worked. That's why sometimes you see like these athletes, famous athletes with Polizia di Stato or Marina Militare, because they join an army to be able to afford to be an athlete. If the sponsors...
But Brazil is just the same. I mean,
Esatto.
yeah, it's the same.
Exactly. So we sit with this guy. One of our federation people, one of our board members, is Fabio Tortosa, who's also head of competition for IFAF now, and he is a policeman. So he sat down with this guy and he was like, can we make these athletes pro? And this guy was like, my friend, I already have rugby full of people. I can't help you. I'm sorry. First message that we get after the qualification is this guy asking the president if they can become part of his police department.
That's how big that was. Impactful.
So, guys, it means that these athletes can leave the pizzeria, can leave the construction work. Right. Like, it's, people don't understand how big it is. People don't understand. Like, and imagine all these years, Fabio, what he had to go through, because Fabio was in the board before I was in the board. Like, this is my second mandate, but he was here, and he's the guy that signs the papers, and he's the guy that puts down the lines when you have to go to the games. Like, he's the same person with the cigarette, puts down the line for the game, and then goes sign the paper and do the picture. Like, he is the same guy. This guy had to sit through all these years being like, your sport is not making the pros, leave me alone. And this guy comes back and he's like, now we're ready for you guys. And it makes sense, because before, flag wasn't a big deal as it is right now. But to make you understand how it changed and how it meant for us to be there, this is how much it meant.
And you know what? Like, all this that you're telling me about
one
this...
last thing I'm gonna say one last. So Fabio, which is a very important part of our federation, but is also the mind behind the project of the athletes paid. This year he told me, like, now that the guys are set, now that the guys can be pros, the money will go to the girls. They deserve it. We will invest in these girls. We will make those passports. We will do the things. Like, everything has a timing, okay? They showed us they can do it. They showed us they were so close to beat the number one ranked nation in the world, which was Mexico. They showed us many things and so much loyalty in these years. Now it's their time. So I am so proud of being part of this federation, because I heard so many horror stories about so many other federations that I could sit here and tell you all about, but it's not my story to tell. But we are lucky to be in this federation. We are lucky to be a board filled of people that have lived for this for so many years, and they don't want anything in the return, because this is what they return to the game. This is what we return to the game that brought us up, basically.
For sure. And I see a pattern, two things that caught my attention. First one, I saw a pattern when you're describing yourself that you worked before. So first you were a professional, and then you became recognized by it, by being an ambassador. And now the Italian players worked their way up before being recognized. So what I hear from you is that even though it's not professional, you gotta be a professional. You gotta treat a professional to become a professional, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So, and the second thing is the fact that one thing that I really believe, and I'm really a big advocate for that, is that great teams have great administrations. You can have the best athletes, the best coaches, but if the administration is bad, everything is top down, right?
In Italy, we say that the fish smells from the head.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean?
The fish smells from the head.
Testa. If something is wrong on the head, everything is wrong.
Absolutely. And I just learned something from you that I'll carry throughout my career. So yeah, I agree. I mean, I've been in organizations that they were top administrations, but we didn't have the best coaches, we didn't have the best athletes, and we did the most with what we had because we had a structure, right? And so one last thing before I let you go is, obviously, as Brazilians, we we did our best. Our guys went there through many challenges and competed, but we did not have the results that we wanted as Brazilians, as a team. Neither in women's, neither in men's. If you had to name one, through all these things that you described, one, the best thing you've done to put Italy right there, what would you say that's the number thing? Just so I can get an idea, so we can bring back home and try to get better as well.
So definitely voting for the program of the guys to be professionals. That was a very tough decision, because you have, usually in the federation, I mean, at least the normal federations, I'm not talking about USA Football has, CEOs that get a lot of money and all that structure that other people don't have. I'm talking about normal federation like ours. When money comes in, it's really hard to say, okay, we want to invest it in the players, because you have debt. We have debt. Everybody knows that, because it's public budget. We have debt from other organizations that came in the 80s, for making you realize, like, that's not even our fault. Like, we have that kind of stuff. Everybody has that. Okay. You have to face it. You pay for what you have to pay. So imagine if 160,000 euros come in, what do you do with this money? Do you think it's going to be worth it? Do you think it's not? I remember that board meeting, and it was tough, man. Like, not everybody was agreeing, not because they weren't agreeing in general. It's because it's tough for people that have played for free for so long to imagine the sport with people that are being paid, so what happens if one guy decides, like it happens maybe to our program, like somebody decides they're not going to do tackle, then they realize they actually want to do it and they go back. It's fine. What happens then? You have to regulate those things. To be honest with you, we didn't have even contracts with these players. It was like a gentleman agreement. It was like an agreement that you have to count on these people and their loyalty. So it's tough. I'm not saying that it's a easy decision, but sometimes you have to start like that. You have to start investing everything you have and making them pros. Of course, I repeat myself, they were already winning. So you're investing in something that has big potential to grow. Another thing that might be the same, if you're not winning, for example, Italy women is not winning right now. So, no winning, I'm saying championships, okay? So what we do with them is find better players, or players that can complement the team, because we have homegrown players that are absolutely amazing. If you look for Siria Granelli, she's 17. She's incredible player. Okay, so we have homegrown players that is great. Alice Fimiani is one of the third or fifth center in the tournament. Okay, so Alice Fimiani is great. And the stats tell you she's great. It's not because somebody says it. So thank God we have the stats. And sometimes it sucks, man. It sucks to say that if you want to get better, you need to take players from other nations. It sucks, I know, because you have a movement, but your movement looks like what it looks like. In Italy, the movement is good, right? We have 20 teams all over Italy, which is not a big country. They're all playing all year long. Okay, the first 8 are good. The first 4 are great for Italy, sure. But respectfully, even from my country, the level is similar to a third tier, which is Slovenia, which is Brazil, not because it's bad, but because you can see the level. No, you can see the stratification of the level. You can see that it's Great Britain, Mexico, Canada, USA, and then there's another, like, you can see it. And you can accept that too. You can just say, okay, Italy is this level. We're going to take 20 years and building on that, we're going to get better. Or since the opportunity is right now and money brings more money, so winning brings more money, what you do is that you try to invest in some players that will complement your players. We got Andrea Ferro last year. It's not easy, when you don't have money, because Andrea Ferro, we had to bring her over this month. The last month she stayed in Milan. She stayed at my uncle's hotel. That's what we have to do. Okay, my uncle, bless his soul, Edward dell'Orto, has a hotel in Milan. He hosted her for a month. So stuff like that. Last year she slept at the coach's house, that he has an extra house that this year was rented, so he couldn't give it to anybody else. But you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's tough. Like we find solutions that are not there. Even with the money, we'll still find the solutions, I'll tell you. But for example, we have to get some passports for some girls that are Italian American, so we have to invest in that. Sometimes it means getting an apartment in a place where we know that it's easier to get the same process for the passport and all that stuff. So, but investing in those players is very important, especially because Brazilians that have double nationality, there's so many. France is not that lucky. With at least France is lucky maybe with the colonial history with Africa, but with the Americans that are the best players right now, they're not that lucky as us. There's so many Italian Americans, so we are lucky, to be very honest, and we're trying to use that luck the best that we can. So that's also something, because it betters your team. Like Adriana Cavallotti, she's one of the girls that was supposed to be on her team, but she doesn't have the passport yet. She plays in college, like she's good in America, and so she's good in the world. And if we bring her to our team, she makes the team better. Okay. So these resources, I think they're fundamental. For our team in Italy, the men, they got imports that were needed, and they became pros. These two things are very important if you want to reach the top right now, if you don't want to wait forever and you want to do it right now. Otherwise, you just invest in the programs and see what comes up. But it's tough. It's even tough for the girls because, for example, some guys that come from America, the American guys that are Italian, they've been playing football since they were 3 years old. And they've been playing football in a system that is successful since forever. The girls, some of them, like, they started playing young, like Lucia Mastellone. She's one of our players. She started playing when she was very, very small. But, the level in women is starting to rise right now. So even in coaching and all that stuff. So I feel like some of the girls are more similar. If you bring them to Italy and they're Americans, they're good, very good, but similar. We don't have that super difference like in the boys' league. But the difference is starting to become bigger. So because they play in college, because they play every day, all that stuff. So yeah, it's important to get imports, I think. They bring the culture too. They bring new drills, they bring new ideas, they bring confrontation with the coaches, which is good because you might end up having ideas like the men's coaches always talk to their players. It's not a dictatorship. It's not a democracy yet either, but it's not a dictatorship. So I think they bring the level up. Like Andrea Ferro for us, the quarterback, she brought the level up. She can throw 50 yards like this. We can't. So I think it's good.
Yeah, I remember Nausicaa when I coached my previous team. I had just came back from the U.S. I spent a season at a Division One program there in Texas, and then I came back to Brazil and got this job at a countryside in São Paulo state, which is the biggest state in Brazil. Anyways, I get the job. I get there. We have 23 players in the roster. I was coaching tackle back then, and then we bring 2 Americans down as imports. We didn't have any money to pay them salaries. But we paid for their flights and all that, and we gave them a place. Yeah, the experience and all that. We gave them a place to stay. One of them played in the CFL, which is, like you said, is a great league in Canada. Anyways, I remember we had a budget of 3,500 reais, which is a Brazilian currency, in that year. So we won the championship, and the next year we increased to 10,000, and then we won it again. and it was 15. So in 3 years, we not only grew from 3,500 to 25,000 a year in 3 to 4 years, but the whole city was coming down to play tackle football for us because we were known in the States. So I love what you said about winning brings money, because when you're developing players and culture, they're not excluded, right? In between themselves, you can do both. And winning brings destruction and brings money, which brings players, which brings all that. So,
and one of the greatest coaches in volleyball, Velasco, who won everything with the girls, with the women in Italy for volleyball, he won the World Championship, the Euros, the Olympics, everything. He's the most decorated team right now, Italy, for volleyball. And this guy said that he hates when people say, "Oh, they won because they've never been so united." And he says the reality is that winning brings unity. So sometimes having a winning team is all it takes to be united, because it's of course it's better if you stay united in the loss, and that's what we've seen in our girls. Like, they've been so united in the loss. When you lose, it's easy to point fingers. Our girls have learned not to do that because they lost so much, right? And so when they will start winning, they will be so united. But winning brings unity. It's the reality. It's the reality of things. And he says that a lot. So yeah, it brings money, brings unity, brings everybody. Everybody wants to be part of it, And
yeah.
it's sad at the same time, because sometimes you can't do anything. Like, it's not your issue. Like, there's so many things that bring winning, but investing in it, and it's worth it, because then it pays back.
Yeah. It's a finite mindset in an infinite game, right? There's this guy I like so much, Simon Sinek, and he talks about finite and infinite games. So sometimes life and those big picture things need finite mindset, which is winning and getting things done to improve the bigger picture. So I want to be respectful with your time, and the last question for you will be, what's next for you? What's next in Nausicaa's career? What's next for Italian flag? Walk me through what's going to happen in your life for now.
So immediately now, at the end of the month, we have the junior championships, which we treat exactly as the world championships as a federation, and we all are together for that goal, which is super important, because that's where our future stars will be born, and it's their first competition. So there's sometimes it's their first competition, and they're so happy and excited, and it's really good. And usually our kids are really good. Like last year, our U17 for the girls won the Euro Championship. So we're very proud of our, grassroots programs. So that's the first thing. And then for sure, training and try to make the team this year. I'm not quitting. Even if I know that I do many things that are good, but I don't have to. I think I saw this quote from Dolly Parton today that said, "I'm not going to limit myself just because people won't accept the fact that I can do something else." Like, I can do so many things well. And I'm sorry, like, it might sound braggy, but it's true. I can be an athlete. I can be in the board,
That
and
sounds like confidence to me.
exactly, I can create content. I can do a lot of things well. So for now, I'm gonna keep doing them and see what happens. But another goal of mine is to bring as many sponsorships as possible this year with my agency, with Open Field Advisory, to FIDAF, so we can really help them grow even more, because they really deserve it, and because it's a fun sport that's a lot of brands want to sponsor now, or we're going to convince them that it's super fun and they can sponsor it. So bring more money to everyone, and make this really cool journey for the women's team as possible, because they really deserve it. So yeah, that's going to be my goal. And then play with my club, the Matkets Milano. I love my team so much. I think that being in a national team is great. Sometimes it's painful, and sometimes it's sad, and sometimes there's so many emotions. And you can talk to so many athletes out there, and they will tell you the same thing. It's tough to be a national team player. Um, but being in your club is just fun because, people accept you for who you are. They're always looking for you to improve. Um, so it's fun. And I can't wait to be with my team and play all these tournaments because we are a team that travels a lot, so it's exciting. And yeah, and then, serve the game, promote the game, and repeat.
And where can we find you, the listeners that want to follow you?
So you can find me on Nausicaa dell'Orto. Make sure you put 2 A's at the end of my name. That's just the way it is, guys.
I'll
The
drop it in
name
the
that Homer gave me.
comments. Yeah.
The Odyssey writer, even if Christopher Nolan deleted my character from the movie, but I forgive him. The movie was fine anyway. But yeah, so make sure you follow me. Make sure you follow FIDAF. We're really cool, make a lot of cool content. Our guys are really funny. So make sure you follow all the guys as well. And if you don't know them, just let me know and I can give you all their Instagram ads so you can follow them and follow the journey to the Olympics.
Good deal. It's funny that you mentioned that because when I first researched about you and I was trying to learn how to pronounce your name, the only place I could find it was through the Odyssey play on YouTube. So I had to watch like 13 minutes of play just for that one part that he says Nausicaa, and I was like, oh, so that's how you say it. And now that you mention
Yeah,
it, I can bring that up.
the Americans call me Nausicaa, which I hate so much. Like,
Yeah,
guys, this is a message for the Americans. Stop calling me Nausicaa. I hate that.
yeah.
It's Nausicaa, or now, if you want to cut it short, as opposed to later, because Nausicaa is terrible. One of my first roommates called me Nausea for a week.
My
So nausea,
goodness.
no, Nausicaa, no, Nausicaa. That's
Yeah,
it's
that one
so.
luckily was the Italian. I listened in Italian, so I could pick that up. Nausicaa, that's for sure a gift for the flag community. The things that you said really bring a lot of context to Italian success in the games, and hopefully you guys are going to have even more success moving forward. I wish you nothing but the best in your career. You have an admirer from Brazil, and if you ever need anything from our country, even though Gabby's there and she's the one, I'm also here for you. I appreciate your
Thank
time.
you, Alex. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you guys.
Bye.